Yeah, set that up.
Yeah. All right. Do you remember your first thoughts watching this movie? Like, just it opened up on the theater and shit. You know?
Watch it and like some older people in the house like were present up to us our first fucking premiere of the movie. Wasn't it like Dad and like Moses maybe?
No, not during the premiere. They were there for a viewing, but that wasn't the premiere.
Really? I
Yeah.
don't remember that then.
Well, okay. Well, describe describe any experience associated with
I felt like we watched it and then fucking Dad and some weird dude were there and they commented on like maybe 1/4 of the movie.
that. Right.
They were just around.
Yeah, yeah. I do remember them commentating about the sorority girls. They're like, yeah.
All I remember is like he ain't in the union no more. And then, like that was like a big laugh.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah, for sure. I just, if that's the case, then we watched Scream 2 for the first time in the daytime, in the daylight. Because it was during the daytime.
Scream 1 was during the evening. Apparently, to you, yeah.
No, like I mean, if it's the same time with Dad and Moses or whoever it was,
Yeah, I don't
it was
remember
definitely
what it
during the
was.
daytime.
I vaguely remember watching Scream 1, and you're describing it like you came in like a half an hour in.
Yeah, something like that.
That was fucking evening. It's kind of trippy.
This, of course, I always thought this was great. I was like, yeah, man, like theater should go crazy like this. This is so much better than the VHS version though, because it was full screen. You know, like it's shocking how much you miss in a full screen viewing.
Yeah, I mean, you're like subtly erasing what I remember watching it for the first time. I was like, oh yeah, you're right. There was this fucking time.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I do remember. Yeah, the ate and the you didn't. I remember that. That was classic. That was great. I was like, that line's even better because those guys thought it was awesome. Now, me, somewhat of a movie snob of sorts. I was like, cliche shower beginning, but that's the point, though, Like, and then here she is, fucking like, why? But it's crazy though because we don't see the nudity. She's saying there's nudity, but we don't see it. And then he's talking about getting a Woody in front of his girlfriend. It's crazy.
It's weird, wild stuff.
So bold.
Oh my god.
And the other cool thing about this is that it's if that mask was ever scary at all, the fact that it's just so overused in this beginning is amazing.
So, no setup, but like this would be the final scene for some reason. You're watching that.
Oh, for Stab One, watching
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Now I do. Her character's great. She's kind of a Randy a little bit because she's she interacts with the media. It's great, or the medium.
Just really into it.
I remember. Yeah.
She's like, I get this beginning, right? So I'll work my magic in that second act. Yeah, just like going outside. This is Stab 1. It's fucked up. Yeah. Referencing Scream 4, of course. Scream 3, they were filming the second one or the third one.
There was the third one, yeah. In Scream 3, they were shooting
I
Stab
die in
3.
Stab 3? I die?
So, and you know what? This is more iconic, more meta. Having the opening in the theater, it's just fucking great. It's fucking brilliant. Although I honestly thought it was gonna end in the theater, I was completely thrown out
Oh,
of.
great.
Yeah, I was completely thrown off track. I was like, holy shit! It starts in what I assumed would be an appropriate ending.
Oh,
You
it'd
know,
be great if it was like one night.
or yeah, or maybe like the day of the premiere day or whatever, and it
Yeah.
just all the killings happen and lead up to that. That's so much fucking better. Oh my god, damn it! There's a lot of back and forth between these two. You know, she's like, oh, he's like, God damn, I gotta win her back now and shit. She's pouty.
She's Patty.
And I do remember you saying like, I have so much sympathy for this character because she does get scared. You know what I mean? She is scared of the movie and stuff. And I'm like, oh my god, that's kind of right because Casey Cooper or whatever her name was, she was just kind of like, fuck you.
She's so smart to it though. The actual movie, she's like, I'm gonna take a break from Act One. I'm just, I get it. The final girl dies in the beginning.
I like this character, but I also can't
Oh my
relate because
god.
I would never walk out during the movie. Something,
Oh
especially if it's so overhyped. It's crazy. I can't
my god,
stand.
there's some popcorn again.
Oh yeah, there you go. Wouldn't let it go. There's some popcorn there.
Scream 4 is on Netflix. Should podcast that one.
This is very Mr. Rogers to me because she takes off the sweater, takes it off later, puts it back on. There's a lot of steps in her viewing process. All right, so it's pretty much a coin toss between whether or not you like the scene or not. This is the first kill. I think this is more. I think it's overall better than the Steven death.
Mm.
You know, but of course, this is very just like, what are the odds of him l- listening in on perhaps a
No,
pervert?
I was gonna say we saw this in theaters. This was on VHS as well.
Yeah,
It's still. I mean, I feel like we. It's still creepy that he hears this.
I like the fact that we heard a voice, not the ghost face voice, but
Yeah.
a voice. It was so weird and freakier.
Mhm.
And the foreshadowing. Listen, mommy. The mom. That's great. It's great.
Spoilers.
Now that part where he takes his head off and then the knife kind of comes with it.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a like. I wish they would have altered that a little bit, because it looks what it was. Like they were just pressing on it, and then as soon as he came off, they just pushed forward to make it look like, you know what I mean? I always thought like, clean that up in post. And look at that, the guy's like, gross, on the dirty ass bathroom floor. Should have been a used condom next to him. Why a toilet? What used condom? How dirty is this place? So this is great. Like it starts to get a little bit comedic, even though we just saw a death. The fact that she finally gets into the movie makes us like her more because we all love Scream. You know what I mean? And she starting off, she was just like, "Fuck this," It's great. It's great. And this is oh my god, this scene right here is amazing. I like just this part where the killer is just watching the movie. It's awesome. Oh my god.
Killer could be anybody.
In the original script, she was like giving him a HJ, and then she's like, "Oh, you came already," and then she's like, "What? This isn't cum. This is blood."
You made it up.
No, I'm putting lines in there, but originally she did like massage his cock. Do you remember that?
Oh my god.
And they're like, "Cut that out and don't make Derek and Hallie the killer." There you go. That's all I ask. Now I remember they cut a scene and it made it look like someone in the movie was getting attacked in the forest, but that was C.C. Cooper, hologram. All right, so what did you think about this part
Well,
where
the change in soundtrack is like crazy obvious. Marco Beltrami.
I was waiting for something a lot more elaborate, especially considered the trailer. But she kind of gets cut up. But what they're saying is like, what are we really laughing at? What are we really, like, what is? We're cheering for someone to get killed while someone's getting killed right next to us and shit.
Killer. Oh, good.
I like the howl. I thought that was great. I thought that this killer was so much like bizarre and like quirky, and for it to just be revealed that it's Mickey, like Mickey didn't show any of those quirks once he was revealed as the killer. He was barely there, and then he got shot. And then we have Debbie Salt. She doesn't act at all like what this killer demonstrated. You know what I mean? So there was that lack of like, oh, you get to know the killer and shit. Oh,
Yeah, now you're gonna make me think of like, wait, who did I originally think was the killer before?
oh shit, yeah, that's right. Remember on the Stars interview where she's getting interviewed and the guy said sarcastically, he's like, "And you are the killer?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm the killer. I'm the goddamn great killer," or something like that. And I was like, "Holy shit, she is the killer!" you know, like
Yeah.
I went in this thinking she was, and she fucking the second one to die. All right, now on to college. I have at this time when I'm watching it, I was like, college is this magical place. Like no parents, man, just like parties and shit. Yeah. So,
you know.
looking at this caller ID, I mean, the last name is Gillis. Isn't that a reference to I Know What You Did Last Summer?
Gillis.
Isn't it? Wasn't the guy named Gillis?
The next commentary should be Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It's gotta be on something. Hot Flash. Oh, fuck.
Look at that. She's jaded, but she has a nice sense of irony about the whole. Let's talk about opening weekend numbers. I mean, like no one fucking talks about that in movies.
Until Hollywood Babylon.
Oh my gosh, let's leave.
Oh yeah. Should I make this?
Yeah.
Cotton Weary. Parents number 2.
Sweater, a little too blatant reference. I mean, you already referenced it in the first one. I mean, come on. And then, what's up with Sydney's underwear? Like, this isn't sexy. It's like
What?
it's like gray. I mean, I know it's not the point. Still, though.
God, yeah, I'm just like racking my brain about fucking what I originally thought about it. This is like it might be the best Scream. Controversially, I'll announce that I think this might be the best Scream. You have all that fucking backstory, and you're like more aware. It's like awareness. like who's the killer? Like you examine everybody.
Oh yeah, I mean they definitely up the paranoia part of it, like the fun. It's definitely more like everyone gets in on the game of like trying to guess who it is, but as a consequence, we're gonna have a lot of red herrings, a lot of false leads. Whereas the first one, you could be suspicious of a character like the principal because he he touches Sydney's face, and the sheriff's like, "Hey, what the fuck?" But it's all organic. Now everyone has these weird looks, these weird, exchanges with someone else. So you're always thinking like, oh, those two are, in cahoots and shit like that. All right, so this is a
Oh.
rewritten scene apparently. The original version went a little different, and I think Randy had all the lines, and he was just taking the whole class to task. But then it was rewritten, and they gave some Randy lines to Mickey.
Whoa.
Ah. So really, Mickey is that Randy's substitute in a way, or his rival for sure. I wish they would have established that more, though. I wish they would have kind of disliked each other. I think that would have been great.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah,
Completely planned.
yeah. They have those back and forths, but it should have been more just like you really should have felt Randy not liking Mickey or Mickey just trying to outdo Randy. Like that would have been great. Just make it spell it out. Spell it out. And of course, Sarah Michelle Gellar. She got and Josh. What's his name? What? Percy from Dawson's Creek.
Percy. She was on fucking Fringe.
This is the line right here.
Moron.
This is the line right here that is not correct, and it always bugged me. The line is "Get away from her, you bitch." It's not "Stay away from her, you bitch." Why did what? Why make Randy the cinema nerd have the wrong quote? You know what I mean? Is it meant to drive people insane? And look at that. See, Mickey balled up that paper, threw it to the teacher. The teacher opens it up and says, "Yeah, we're killing CC Cooper." Next. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there was the fact that yeah, it's a big mystery. It's almost spelt out that we have to guess who it is, but it does kind of make everyone seem a little cartoonishly like suspicious.
I almost might have bet on like the first, um, like not so subtle, like oh these guys could be killers was fucking the chick from Urban Legend and fucking Rossi de Portia, no Portia de Rossi, yeah.
Oh right. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes them out to like, oh, they could be the killers. I'm like, oh, maybe that was like, oh, I get it. it's totally them. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember the first screening of this too much. I remember being excited about it.
That great line at the end of that scene was like, "I let the geek get the girl." Then, of course, all his dreams are dashed in front of us once Jerry O'Connell, the
Oh
fat
my
kid
god.
from Stand By
Yeah.
Me, shows up.
The fat kid.
And I thought they should explore this a lot more. But again, like a lot of the shit that I was more interested in is kind of takes a backseat to the more meta media references and stuff. Like that's media popularity that's pushed up way more in this movie, and the characters kind of get pushed back in the background.
We of course get Courtney Cox in the scene, and then
Oh yeah.
David Arquette earlier. I mean later, but it's such a weird fucking setup, I guess. Like we have the same fucking actors and characters from the first movie.
Yeah, it's a bit of a stretch to explain exactly why. Like this makes sense. She would be on the case. It is weird that she doesn't have her own cameraman, but wait, she's just a book. She wouldn't have her own cameraman. But I do remember the bowling finals.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, here we go.
Billy and Stu. Wait, what's the fucking subtitle?
Go to production now.
Go to okay, go to hell via Jason.
Now I remember watching this. I'm like, whoa, that's Roseanne's sister. What is she doing here? That's kind of suspicious. No, I actually didn't really suspect her at all, really. But it was just kind of randomly odd that this. I was like, Roseanne's sister. What is she doing here? It was fucking weird.
I mean, she kind of serves as like fucking Courtney Cox, just fucking putting something down. You know what I mean? Like it seems like that's her character arc until the end, obviously. But
Like her rival.
yeah, but like Court, like yeah,
shit. Oh my gosh. She dissed her with no cameras on. That's motivation enough.
Distant? Dist? D-I-S-S-E-D. I'm just.
This is a nice little scene, just establishing her take charge attitude.
Yeah. Well,
And this sort of stuff right here with
this is
this.
some fucking crazy Avengers fucking level scenes.
Now, again, going back to the VHS version, full screen versions on tape, you would miss big chunks of the side. And what they did was they put a lot of Mickey with the camera on the outer edges of what was going on. Because in the VHS version, you actually just see, like, basically what we're saying now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so here we go.
What?
Melissa Gay Hart and
Who's that chick?
Melissa Gay Hart. I just said. And Portia de Rossi.
I'm talking about number 3.
Oh.
There's yellow right there.
Uh,
Yeah, there's her, right? Change back, for fuck's sake.
this is to establish some sort of joke.
Right there, yeah. This chick right here.
Yeah?
Number 3, motherfuckers.
You know, originally, I think Sarah Michelle Gellar was part of this group.
What?
I thought I saw a production photo of her being in there.
That would like tie into like
right?
the paranoia of like the Urban Legends chick or fucking Portia de Rossi being the killers.
Yeah,
Because like you're already fucking conditioned to fucking notice 2 killers, so you're like, oh, these 2.
Exactly.
I might have fucking like at my age watching this movie, I might have like actually believed this Portia de Rossi and fucking Urban Legends chick.
And here we are with Broken Arrow music. I remember being very controversial at this time. They're like, "What the fuck?" And I didn't go on the internet. I just knew.
What's his name? Graham Revell or no? I don't remember.
Marco Beltrami?
No, is it?
Or the other guy?
Bet you it's Graham Revell.
All right, so yeah, why is he here necessarily? Do they explain it? He's just like, "Oh, I was worried. I got on the first flight over here. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, 2 people that aren't even related. I don't know, whatever. But we do have another line in where he's like, and he kind of gives it away. You know, he's like, you should be suspicious. There, you know, it could be anyone, him, or her, or them. And it's like, why would you throw in a her? There was never a her before, you know. So I just thought that was throwing it out there, like kind of like big foreshadowing, you know, like in your face. Because in both versions of Scream 2, the scripts, there was a female killer. There was Haley, her roommate. You know, Candyman's daughter.
Haley. Oh my god. Can you imagine fucking going to watch this in theaters? That'd be fucking trippy.
I know I wanted to. I remember that. We only watched Scream 3 in theaters, that's it.
Yeah.
And we weren't even supposed to be there. It must have been rated R then.
Oh yeah.
Why would we have to sneak? So we have the added characterization of a limp, which will stay with him throughout the franchise. Actually, he barely limps in Scream 4. He's fully recovered. All right, now see, with all these characters being established, and for every scene to like make you think like, and this right here, there was a scene originally that was cut. It was put in the trailer where Mickey's like, the paper said she was stabbed 7 times, and Haley, whatever the fuck, she was very just like, you know, she's like, ouch, you know, very sarcastically, and I was like, that is fucking awesome. Why the fuck wasn't this in the movie? It was great. It was a great scene. But again, breakneck pace. Like here we have a little bit of sequelitis here, where we have Sydney punch what's her name in the face again. You know, total sequelitis. Oh, this time we go backhand a bit. Oh my gosh, can't believe you preheat in this day and age, in this economy. Hey, can you grab me a beer, please?
Sure.
All right, so here we have the return of Cotton Weary, and favorite character. I thought he was great. I love the fact that he could have walked away from this whole thing, but he wants. Again, this movie focuses so much more on press, on media. You know, it's great. It's great. But again, it does seem to squeeze out the horror aspects of this. You know, the characterization. It's like it's very heightened Scream 2. It's so much more about media and press and paranoia. It leaves the human element out of it. You know, it's not as much as the first one. The first one was great with that. Okay. Oh shit. Joel recording their conversation. Who knows why, really?
Promise nothing.
Is he aware that that this is a juicy story? I mean, come on. Oh yeah. Was it the dumb shit left for dead comes to? Was it that it? I don't remember.
That is what it was. Yeah. The dumb shit left for dead.
All right, so a little bit more sequelitis here. We have basically the same fucking relationship. You know, them trying to get back together, him rambling off this uh, fuck, this great speech.
It seems like Dewey kind of fucking realized what, you know. I hate to say it, but like, what kind of movie is in? But yeah, like, so he's like, without Randy, he just kind of fucking knows what's going on. You know what I mean?
I did not. What do you mean? Like I mean, he definitely dives into that detective. Like he definitely comes off as a very a detective vibe. But we're right back into the evening again. All that broad daylight. There was nothing terrifying about any of this. All right, so let's. We're going back into the evening here, and by now, I think today's audience or that day's audience already knew like felt the formula work. You know,
Yeah.
they're like, okay, so now this next one, we have all the characters established. Now Sydney has to get attacked.
The audience is hip.
Yeah,
to exactly what's going on, which makes it one of the greatest sequels.
Now, but what's going on in this scene? It's again a misdirection. Like if the killer somehow tied up in just these blind groups of like, you know, like they say that sororities, fraternities and stuff, they have this almost like cult like thing that's going on. If the movie somehow tied into that, it would make it all worth it. I'll make a bait to say that. Now, I remember when I watched this, she was just some hot chick. I mean, I don't think she was in.
She wasn't in your knowledge of Buffy, right?
Yeah, I didn't watch Buffy then. What was the other one with Ryan Philippe and I think that was later.
Cruel Intentions.
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Definitely later.
Yeah, that was later.
It was like 99 when
One
DVDs first came out.
Oh my god! I was gonna say that was one of the very first DVDs I ever saw, and that was again at our cousin's. A lot of firsts. A lot of firsts. All right, so I don't know, just fucking.
Like, how do you use a VCR? Like, just like copy the screen, and like, you just push it on the VCR. fucking loads onto the fucking VCR.
I did kind of like that top version. But with this, a little weird. First of all, they show her fucking death in the trailer. They show her getting thrown off the building. You know, there's no coming back from that. Unless she lands on a boat with a tarp on it, like Cindy did. And she has nothing to worry about. Another thing I want to make clear is that Ghostface voice, they turned down in the mix. They made it sound like it was coming from the device.
Yeah.
Whereas in the first one and the third one, and even the
Yeah.
fourth one, the mix was brought more in the forefront, Bane style. You know what I mean? She doesn't think she's alone. Now, being scared in a sorority house, I can't relate. Except for that inverse gangbang that was about to happen. Eventually, I just loosened up.
Yeah, I just slid out of there.
Slid out of there? What do you mean? Inverse gangbang? That means like there's a bunch of chicks and one dude. Come on. You embrace that. With open arms. Alright, so I remember this girl coming up here. From Las Vegas Vacation.
Okay, so in terms of tech, they're able to fucking obstruct her fucking signal.
Oh, no. I was going to say, like, that would have been clever. But no, I think they just, like, she literally just lost reception while going outside of the house. And remember how low tech was back in, like, this was released in 97, so it was probably still filmed in 96. Those were dark ages. Now, they say that they reveal that there are indeed two killers because he's not holding a phone in front of him. Who the fuck's, like, it's not like he could have been holding it like this. I don't know. I didn't think it was obvious. I thought, if anything, it was the same guy. Like, oh, shit, walking in.
What if like billions do miraculously see Scream 2? And they're like, alright, first of all, let's get rid of Mickey, and what would we do in these situations? I love that range.
So basically, what I'm trying to do in real life, I didn't approve of Scream 2, and I'm trying to write my own.
Yeah.
What if they did that?
Where did they go wrong?
Oh, sorority girl.
Billy and Stu's excellent adventure.
Go back through time and shit. We missed a great line, and very, I love to quote it.
So it's not like fucking reach the temperature.
Yeah, that's all captured too. Glad. Don't forget to set the alarm. Like, I was like, oh my god, that voice is freaky.
Yeah, I'm trying to, like, you're making me think.
Good. I'm glad I'm making you think.
You're making me
because I don't want to be the only one saying shit.
You're making me think I seen this before that fucking VHS fucking time that screen. Oh my god, this is before, like, I feel like the trailer told us that he's gonna call Sydney. Remember that? Like, it's in the fucking trailer.
Yeah, that's true. That's right.
And then this is going on. It's kind of like, what?
Yeah, it really does. It's like we know for sure that this person's gonna die.
Yeah,
but like, yeah,
we're being more hip to trailers. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
In our youth. Oh my god.
I like this death because it's brutal. Like the crashing of glass and the alarm going off. And you really don't see a lot of people getting thrown off of buildings. That's pretty great.
Isn't that in the trailer or no?
Yes, it was. I said it took away a lot of the suspense because they put this in the trailer. All right, so look for Skeet Ulrich. Or wait, no, Matthew Lillard. Yeah, he's got blonde hair somewhere.
Portia. And Gayheart. What's her name? I don't remember.
Yeah, what's a gay heart? Or wait. And look at this.
Oh yeah.
What took you so long? Established, red herrings galore. Red herrings. That's not the right word.
You can edit that out.
We're using all the suspicions of her trying to get, seduced by a cult-like sorority, but it doesn't go anywhere. It's a lot better if it somehow ties in with everything. I do remember when he said that. I didn't know what that meant. I was so young. I was like, let's blow.
Let's blow.
Let's blow, and how do I get me some of that?
Sounds like a
David Lynch. Let's blow. I directed Twin Peaks.
A junior version of Ray Romano. Let's blow. I get John pizza.
Oh my gosh, the bad feelings that the killing is starting again. And just that shot of her coming into the scene like that, like, are we to suspect Gail as well? Although she is brought up as a suspect. But I guess that's what I'm getting at. Like, just the fact that anyone could be the killer. Like, look at Dewey right now. Like Wes Craven took him aside. He's like, okay, I want you to play solemn. I want, get the lighting. Make sure that there's some dark circles under his eyes. Like, oh my gosh. What's up with Dewey? He looks so mysterious. Did he just kill a girl? Yeah. And look at Joel. Where was he the whole time?
Yeah. Wish you could access my memories. Remember what I thought originally.
See? Look at that. See? And it goes nowhere. No one even suspects Dewey. And even, like, close-ups that mean nothing. Like, it's just so deep and preoccupied with, like, getting the audience to look in all directions,
Yeah.
which is fine. But again, that does hurt character because in the first one we like the characters, in the second one we don't trust anybody. And that's what I'm trying to fucking say. I do remember this. Yeah, I think the trailer began this way or something like that. When you see some guy walking away while the phone is being called, I'm like, fucking, he could have dialed it in the phone's in his pocket. Like, I was like, this man's clever. And again, in the trailer, it was great when he was like, "It's time, girlfriend."
Holy
I was
shit.
like, that's a great reference to the fact that it was Billy last time, but that wasn't even on here. This wasn't even on here. It was omitted from the film. It was just in the trailer.
The fucking knife going through the fucking door of Jerry O'Connell. For some reason, that's like fucking iconic to me.
Oh yeah, for sure. And when I first saw that, I already made the scene in my mind where it's like being attacked in his dorm room. He's like in this little dorm.
This little dorm. The fucking weave a story.
And the killer fucking looks and he's like, has no respect for the sock draped on the doorknob. He's like, I'm going in there. All right, so this. How did you remember feeling about this when he slashed? You know, was it like, oh, suspect him, or there was just too many shades of Billy again?
There we go. There.
Yeah, that scene right there.
That might made a more of an impression on me right there.
Oh yeah, that's right. They should have followed that a lot more. And then this, it was crazy that he slashed and shit, but you know, we just don't get to know Derek at all because he's constantly just, you know, like already she's like, oh my gosh, she's like, you know, clamming up on him right now.
Oh my god. Sydney clams.
Sydney clams up. Now, this scene, of course, following with the tradition that the killer in these movies always gets interrogated by the cops, but is let go. You were aware of that trope, right? No?
Sure.
All right. Now, this scene again, it's like, it's almost too obvious that he is pointing the finger at Derek. You know what I mean? It just, his face, like everything about Mickey, everything about Timothy Oliphant just is really very killerish, you know? It's shades of Stu right there, you know, that sense of just like this wild kind of character. It really is because, you know, Stu was with Tatum in the first one. Mickey is trying to get with Hallie, but she's always just like, yeah. Just walks away. She likes Ewoks, he doesn't, you know? Two ships in the night. And who the fuck let Dewey, some random guy, he's not even a cop, is he? Into the ER, you know? If I was Derek, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here, man. Your fucking Jar Jar Binks should probably trip over my IV cord or something. You know? Misa Band from Woodsboro. Alright, we might be dealing with some more deleted scenes. I think it was Joel who he's reading the book, and in the trailer they zoom in on him like just like going through the pages and shit. But yeah. And here, of course, is a little idea that goes absolutely nowhere. And in fact, it's almost so fucking like, how is this possible? It's so far fetched. It's crazy.
I just never brought it up again.
Trying to duplicate Woodsboro. They would do that in a way for Scream 3 where they're like, he's trying to duplicate the script. You know, you know. So the idea is cool, but again, Kevin Williamson, it's weird. Fucking Kevin Williamson apparently wrote the first script, the Scream script, in like 3 days, something like that.
Wow.
But this seems more rushed than Scream 1, you know? Like the ideas that go nowhere, you know? I did like this idea that she gets 2 bodyguards. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah, and then like she's like, wait a minute. Really, who is this guy I'm dating? You know what I mean?
It's a thankless role, trying, you know, to be the rebound boyfriend.
Yeah. He's already got. Did we pass that part? We
did. He got cut in the arm.
He got cut in the arm. Yeah. And this is like a fucking. Oh my god. It's so in the middle of the movie. Yeah, it just builds on itself. Yeah. I'd have to watch more Kevin Williamson movies to like be like, all right, this is exactly what he's doing. But yeah. Yeah.
The downside of this is that he's gonna try to prove himself to her by doing this outrageous act in the cafeteria by singing. You know, could have been avoided, Sydney. It's Dewey's dad in real
Well,
life. One take. Oh shit! All right, so she's trying to break him down. This time he is, he's not just head over heels. This time he's a little bit more jaded. You tell by the way he walks. Oh, gosh, more Debbie Salt. Oh shit! See, that's more acknowledgement that the media is bad. You know, way more emphasis on this in this sequel. And her, of course, giving away her own um, hint to herself. If she's copying Woodsboro, they're from Woodsboro. But again, that does not go anywhere. So whatever. Mickey with more camera time, if you will, as in he has a camera on him. I do remember someone making the acknowledgement that to establish subtly that Derek's the good guy, Mickey's the bad guy. Mickey has a red apple. Derek has a green apple.
what?
And look at that. See, opens the door. His own girlfriend wants to sit next to him. And I just want to say, before we get into this atrocious singing sequence, this is the last time we see Mickey in any sort of like outside of being a killer context.
Huh.
you know, I always thought I just never understood this scene at all. Like I knew it was like a reference apparently, but even then I was like, no one here gets it. Not in the reality of the movie, in the reality of theaters. We're just like, what the fuck is going on? Couple of random shots of the sorority girls not looking suspicious,
Yeah.
more for comedic effect.
Right.
Oh shit! And it is kind of weird that this song reappears in the movie, of course, as the closing credits or opening credits. Not wait, end credits. Yeah, there you go. But as a punk cover.
I bought it. I think I bought it when I was a little kid. I was like, yeah, this totally happened.
It's very yeah. I mean, it's fine. This I just remember certain scenes again really going away from the horror. It's more fun, like this movie. I mean, the idea of the movie, and I'm not necessarily saying this Scream 2 is more fun than Scream 1. I'm just saying like they had these weird fucking scenes in this movie, So planting some seeds for an eventual plot convenience. But even then, it's like, what are the odds that he gets set up in the theater and she happens to be running by? Here's the theater music.
Uh-huh.
A little collective soul to ease it all down, to wash it all down.
Well, smash cut.
So this was great. Nice callback to the first one, where she just kind of like, it was just a funny little line, throwaway line. And in this coming scene, you and I, we recreated the scene plenty of times, more than once. I do remember that.
We just emulated.
Yeah.
This is what the beats would be.
But again, this is really weird with um, him not saying the third line or whatever. But let's ignore that for now. For fucking Luke Wilson.
Talking about the teaser trailer. The third rule, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was said in the trailer, but not in the movie. It's ignored by Dewey, who should want to know. You know, if you got Luke Wilson playing Billy, Owen Wilson should have played Stu. Wow, wow.
That'd be a weird twist.
That would have been great. But Owen Wilson, he was too busy filming Anaconda, I believe.
Oh my god.
Now, I like that. They are in fact talking about Mickey. He did want to make a sequel. He is a copycat killer, I guess. Debbie Salt though is not. So they are not acknowledging Debbie Salt right now. Although more hints were established in that scene where out of all the scenes in the movie, they show her talking about her mom or him talking about his mom.
Like Randy would have like fucking looked back on his time in the screen, the first original screen. He'd be like, all right, so metaphysically, like, what would the next rules be? All right, so it's like just like an organic sense of like he came to this really easily.
Well, when he goes about the when that's the problem. When he talks about the rules, it's not how to survive. It's actually just the rules of what the killer would have to do, and let's just kill more people and be fancier about it. And this scene, of course, is kind of fun because they're just naming off all the suspects and shit. Like in the trailer was awesome. Like who the fuck is Mickey Tarantino? You know what I mean? Like all those words.
I mean, I buy what you just said was we watched Friday the 13th Part 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I buy that. I'm like, there just needs to be more fucking killings. Yeah, you simplified it. Yeah. Uh-huh.
See, now this should have been explored more. The fact that he brings it up from the first one, that he did everything for Sydney, that should have had another scene. In fact, but instead,
Oh yeah.
it's put out immediately as soon as Derek shows up. They should have had one more scene together. Really, yeah. When was the last scene that Randy had with Sydney? It was at that party, and she was just like, "What took you so fucking long, you piece of shit?"
She changed how her cameraman died in the book.
Why? It was so much more sensational as a gutting, or I mean, a throat slash, or what? Wait, no, I got that all wrong. I love, I love all his lines here. Following this scene, this great scene of her finally convincing him to stick around, the next scene should have been of them recording something of substance. Now we're not going to see him until later on. Like we got this fucking weird ass sequence. This
Oh
is
my god,
basically
yeah.
the cafeteria scene again, where it's just like, what? Okay, I guess we're here now. I guess that scene, you know. It's fucking weird. But it does explore her character, like she wants to be an actress, which is sweet. It does, you know, it doesn't seem to fit at all, but it is cool that she does want to.
It's the first time Ghostface has showed up in the sequel, right? Like she literally sees Ghostface trying to come after her, but he fails, and that's like this whole scene. This is the sequel, right? I mean,
Yeah, this is.
we watched Scream 3 like a day ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that this guy's here, but it sucks that he's only one scene. If he just like took out a canister of green ooze and smeared it over her face, it'd be perfect. um, Dipping back to like Greek mythology is kind of cool. I mean, I really like Greek mythology, so it's kind of cool. And it does tie into the themes of Omega Beta Zeta. You know, like those are Greek letters. Those, you know, like it's a Greek theme, so it's not that bad, but it is a scene that's just like, oh, yeah. You know, it just kind of stops the movie in a way.
Oh yeah, she got chased, and then her boyfriend got slashed in the arm, right?
Yeah.
So this will be like the second time that Ghostface has showed up.
Wait, you actually think she sees someone in a ghost face on here? I thought she was just delirious. But in theaters though, I thought it was gonna end. Oh, another alternate ending would be to end during a play. I thought he was gonna show up and kill her on stage. I was like, oh shit, the world is a stage. I get it now. Like,
The world is stage.
like I honestly, I thought that scene looked cool as shit. Like you see her in her Cassandra outfit, and she runs up, and the ghost face is in this brown cloak. It's awesome, but it's just a tease, yeah. This kind of stuff.
When did Batman Forever come out? I forget.
Oh
It
boy,
was in '96, right?
it might have been.
This year. No, '97 is this year, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
That's a good question. It might have been close. Are you saying they should have had "Kiss from from a Rose" playing right now?
No.
Oh shit! Look at that. But you know, with her wanting to be an actress is cool. Like it is. Like maybe Scream 3 would have been even cooler if like instead of in hiding she was an actress but successful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, that's all about the killer trying to like, you know, he like likes all her Instagrams and shit. That'd be terrible, actually. I do remember a lot of people bringing it up like, "Why the fuck was she signed for a role to get stabbed at?"
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my online troll voice. Not even troll. Like people had a good point.
he sees
You know.
it too. It's like, what the fuck?
What have I done? No. Wait. So you seriously think there's a guy in a ghost face mask?
I absolutely do.
Really? Oh, I thought it was her just being paranoid. Honestly, that's what I thought. I mean now. I think then I suspected it was, but after watching it fucking for years on end, I was like, no, it's actually him. And he takes off his mask, like, just cool.
Yeah, look at them, both of them.
Yeah, they appear again.
Urban Legends and Portia de Rossi.
Yeah, that's right.
I was like, holy shit.
Urban Legend, she gets her financial backing from a Bluth. I mean, it's great.
What Bluth?
The one that Portia plays.
Yeah, but on Urban Legends, Marcia Gay Hart. She's the killer.
You know, the more I talk about this, like I actually really like this whole stage play thing. It's pretty sweet. And having been in a play myself, not in a college, but you know, it is pretty sweet.
You were in a play?
Why, yes, I was in a play.
Which one was that?
It was, it was There's an off-Broadway smash called Virgil's Wedding.
I
Way
feel
off
like
Broadway.
I feel like you drove there, right? Maybe I was a passenger. And you're like, all right, I'm going in to practice my play. I'm like, all right, I'll be out here.
I'll be out here,
Yeah.
keeping it real.
I think I listened to Eminem's like 8 Mile soundtrack.
Oh shit, really?
His single, yeah, I think I listened to that for the first time. Yeah, was that Virgil's Wedding?
Virgil's Wedding, yeah.
Wow.
Alright, so she's fucking, telling him to hit the bricks. He takes it rather well. But subtly, when he leaves, there's a big sign that says danger.
I am more totally in the second act of that would happen easily.
See, they're already they're already like outthinking the plot, or they're already like dismissing the whole reenacting Woodsboro.
Yeah.
They're like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Let's just say and acknowledge that this is Randy's last scene. Is it effective to kill him? Yes, but it's still. I just didn't think it was right. I don't know. It was just too early. It's fine to kill him now, but he should have been given a lot more scenes before this. That's what I'm thinking. That's why no. Still relevant. Gosh. What do you remember? Do you remember experiencing the scene live? Like, was there any suspicion that he's next? Did it take you by surprise? Any of this shit? This was heavily in the trailer. His back and forth with the killer.
Yeah.
That was awesome, And that's the thing. All of Brandy's scenes are fucking great. If you're gonna kill him, fine, but you give him more shit beforehand.
This is very Act Two. Act Two, but it's the sequels in Act Two. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It's great.
I actually think this is what sets off the third act, because after this, Sydney runs into Cotton at the library. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is, if anything, this is the end of Act Two. Because this death has to be the one that drives. It makes sense. It fucking makes sense. I think it's too early, but in fact, it does make sense. It sets up the third act. Because it has to get personal at this point. Sydney was attacked, and no one else, and she's been like hallucinating, but no one's died that she's cared for yet. That's for sure. This is how the Principal Himbry wanted to feel when he got killed. Loved, missed.
On Go to Production Hell, nobody survives past this point, at least.
Now, it's been figured out, basically, that this is not Mickey. This is Debbie Salt. However, there's a flaw in this, because here we go. Now that was a clue where you're like, oh, he said that. Who else was in that scene? You would figure out it was Mickey, but it was Debbie Salt that killed him. That used that line against him. So, yeah. So you fill in the blanks for them. Like, well, Mickey was probably like, and then this asshole totally said, I want to get the girl. Yeah.
The technology at the time.
Yeah, really. Everyone would have been a suspect.
Manson. Oh, shit. Comes out of nowhere.
Killed by music. I mean, come on. Sucks.
I'm sure not.
Yeah, this was unreal at the time. I was just really like, uh, I was thinking like, could he survive? I don't think so because he keeps getting stabbed. And that great scene, I really like that little shot right there of the feet and like, yeah, or shoes, jeans, shoes, pants.
Pants. Still like anybody can be a killer.
And for the record, I really like Courtney Cox's scream right there. Like, not only was it like scared, but it was like of like pain and shit. Like, it was a really good scream. I thought that really captured what happened. Because when I remember when I watched the trailer, I was like, that's like a haunting scream that she did, you know? All right, so look at all these laptops, kids. They're not even laptops; they're desktops.
Brings me back.
Brings me back to other people saying like, "Fucking idiot! I'm Nick Burns, company computer guy." Oh shit! I remember this girl in particular. She's an extra, but she's sprinkled throughout the movie occasionally,
Whoa.
and it's. I always thought I was like, that's almost excessive the way that
Yeah.
Wes Craven was like, I want this particular girl that really stands out. I think she's kind of hot, but she's just sprinkled throughout the movie. She just shows up.
That's kind of fucked up. That the future of Ghostface is text messaging, essentially.
Oh, yeah,
Can you imagine getting like a text like that? Like you're gonna die tonight.
yeah.
CC.
I'm like, WTF?
Yeah. CC. I mean, Vince.
Yeah. CC's, you want pizza? CC's pizza? Oh shit! All right, all right.
Wow, it just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, we haven't seen Cotton forever. This is the classic Diane Sawyer. And I like the fact that he's coming back right after we just seen this huge murder. You know, like we didn't see him after Cece died. We didn't see him after Sydney was attacked. You know, like we didn't see him after she thought maybe he was in the theater during the play rehearsal. You know what I mean? We see him after Randy of all people is killed. Like just a huge finger getting pointed at him. You know, it's great. And in a way, honestly, I was like, that'd be great if he was the killer. Like, I kind of wanted him to be the killer because I was like, this actor's awesome and shit. And he's like, he's all about the media and stuff. In that shot, of course, he has the same shoes as the killer, but he's wearing blue jeans. Blue jeans.
Whoa.
So if you're paying close enough attention, you're like, oh. Shut the fuck up. I always felt that was an unnecessary line. I'm not Billy, you killed him, he's dead, remember? Holy shit. Jesus.
Oh, my nose.
It really goes for the low blow when it comes to shit, when he doesn't get his way. And okay, so this, remember I mentioned that there's a trope in Scream where like all the killers get questioned by the cops but are later left go.
Mm.
That happened with Mickey, and he is the killer. But it happens with Liev Schreiber, but a bigger scene. You know what I mean? So definitely, like, they're still following the same trope, but it's a misdirection. It's great.
Mm.
Oh yeah, we're not done being suspicious. There's another scene coming up here.
Was that chick on Scream 3 Randy's niece? Or what?
Uh, no, Randy's sister.
Oh, yeah.
Don't shoot him, like child in high school.
In case of a trilogy.
Yeah, break glass in case of a trilogy. Break glass ceiling in case of a trilogy. Get it? Because she's a female.
I get it. I'm done.
I had to explain it for the listeners. Alright, oh, I forgot to mention, that's David Arquette's dad. With a pretty prominent role. Serious man. Man worthy of respect. All right, so here comes another part where it's like you don't fully, there's still some shade thrown at Dewey a little bit between him and Cotton because he's going to try and pass in a piece of paper. She will reject it, and Dewey will take it. In fact, he'll fucking look at it, and then there's a bit of a musical sting or a musical part to suggest like, oh, whoa, what was that? Character death. Oh my gosh, he's speaking in movie terms. It's great. Character death. Well, it's not movie terms, but it can be interpreted as that. Oh, here we go. But it doesn't go anywhere. And I'm just saying, again, that is it cool? Yes, but it's way cooler if it pays off somehow. In fact, Dewey and Cotton have no fucking, relation to each other at all. I don't even think they share a scene.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Say hello to Roseanne for me.
Hmm.
This was great. I actually really love the fact that a character is so smart enough to be like, I'm fucking out of here. It's great.
Mhm. Mhm.
What?
Randy.
I'm at loss.
I just like sequels more than the originals. And what do you want me to say? Like, just Scream 2 really works, man.
Well, yeah, I'm not, I'm saying that I like it, but I also say the differences and stuff. That there was a difference. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying more focus on the media, more focus on the paranoia. It's mostly speaking out loud.
Was there ever like a Billy, like, what if they survived in this instance, like the sequel? Like, what if they survived?
You mean Mickey and Debbie Salt survive?
Billy and Stu. I don't think it ever came up, right? Because you're like, they were totally dead. But,
Oh,
but yeah, and watching it for the first time, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? It's happening again? I don't think it ever came up for me. I feel like I knew the rules, right? Like it's a mystery of who the killer
uh,
is.
I don't know. I mean, it just seems like the idea of it is very endgame-ish. Back to the Future 2-ish, where
Yeah.
like they hear of this copycat killer at a college, and it is Mickey. So it would, I mean, of course it would be changed because would Randy be in danger? I guess he would. No, wait, no, he's dead. Never
Oh, yeah.
mind. So Randy would still be going after Jada Pinkett Smith and Sarah Michelle Gellar and any other actress with three names, Marcy Gay Hart or whatever the fuck
Courtney Cox,
her name.
Arquette.
Arquette. Yeah. It was great. Like I don't know, I wasn't one to complain about it. Like I knew that it was from Broken Arrow, but I'm like I don't know, it kind of works. Like, and and that's another thing that Scream 2 is very different. It's so meta where like they someone is given a theme song, and not only it, but it's not even an original theme song. It's so meta, it's a different animal. It's great. Joel shot it like it was the bowling files. So okay, at this moment, who do you think is behind any of this? You know what I mean? Like, do you remember figuring it out at all? Like, I know I suspected Mickey, but that's the thing I'm getting at. You suspect everyone in this, so when it is revealed that it is Mickey and that it is Debbie Salt, it's not as mind blowing as like when it's Stu or when it's Billy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It's just that impact just isn't there.
I don't know. I may or may not remember what I thought the first time.
Because I remember that moment right before he takes the mask off. I was like, I don't know. I was just like thinking that.
Hmm. Hmm. So yeah, he's hip to the sequel. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Oh my god.
You're so clumsy.
He's so close.
Trying to think logistically who this is behind the mask chasing her currently. I believe it's fucking Mickey, but I could be wrong
I was gonna say,
because
like, isn't, yeah,
yeah, they have to get to the car, right?
but isn't Debbie Salt the only victim is Randy, right?
Well, that's what we assumed, and maybe we're right because she doesn't kill Dewey. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm saying, like, if this is Debbie right here, it's still true. She only kills Randy, from what I can tell. But honestly, though, there's a bit of a I've analyzed this movie so much where it's like when Casey or Sarah Michelle Gellar is killed, the stabbing motion of like this, like it's so unusual and like stilted. So
Yeah.
so I always felt that same killer was the one that killed Randy because that was the way like he was stabbed too. So I just assumed that was the same, both the same whoever it was. So who knows? Maybe Debbie Salt killed Casey Cooper or Cece Cooper. Sorry, god damn it. Yeah, she killed Cece Cooper and Randy.
Did you see the fourth one in theaters?
I did. Yeah.
Oh, me too. So for both of us, it's 3 and 4 that we saw in theaters.
Yeah, exactly. This is a kind of sweet sequence. Tense.
It's tense.
Ding, ding, ding. Oh yeah, they don't have it this time, but that's because we're meant to feel something. This was kind of a cool idea, kind of a cool sequence. The fact that he's behind noise-proof, soundproof glass.
And it changes instantly.
It's effective. I like that.
Well, the same nerve endings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed 3 a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Classic article described Scream 3 as zigging where the first two zagged.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, that's kind of true. You always said that part got you. You're like, I know he's on the other side, that he will emerge. Just pressing on the glass. So yeah, disappears. There's no fucking way they could run all the way over there. They gotta set other shit up. So yeah, there's definitely 2 killers. There has to be Debbie Salt that stays in the theater while Mickey chases Sydney and Hallie around. Right? Has to be.
Thought she was just an online MILF.
Fucking cougar.
I thought that was like fucking law that fucking she only killed Randy, right?
I don't think. Oh, I guess not. I don't think so. I don't know. I know that was brought up, but I was always like, I mean, if the only thing that sucks is that those characters didn't know. I mean, those actors didn't know that they were the killer. It sucks. Because I remember in Scream 1, Billy Skeet got to be in the actual costume in the garage.
Yeah.
Although,
What?
yeah.
He's the original.
And I remember seeing that form like run past in the background ever so subtly. It was great. I'm like, oh shit, he's next. Gave up his letters. And oh, there they are again. But there's no sense of being suspicious at all.
No.
Is it?
They're off the hook at that point.
Yeah. It's like, no.
Bimbos.
Bimbos. They're like, we're at college. We were bimbos. We went to seek a higher education, you piece of shit. I was very young, and I remember this. I'm like, so this party is you get splashed with beer. You know what I mean? I was always scared of it. You get tied, splashed in the face.
Real talk. I'm scared of alcohol.
All right, so I think in the first commentary for the first Scream, I mentioned how like this was gritty, like plausible, but then you were just like, well, it's actually kind of like over the top and like more movie-like. It's a bit of both. I think the crash is very gory and realistically done. You know, it's fucked up.
Yeah. Oh my god. This one guy.
He's nimble. That ain't no David Salt kicking. She's like, I'm 50 years old.
And I stretch, and I kick, and I stretch.
Is that the same one that was like, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it? I think it's Molly Shannon.
I always thought it was Debbie Salt or whatever. Mrs. Loomis.
In here?
No, Randy. That was it.
No, I think that's my hypothesis. Hit the hypothesis. That's my hypothesis. I can't say it.
What's his name? Mickey's like, you went over my helmet. Killed Randy. Like,
you said you only killed one person. Like, how could you not know?
This is fucking true.
Oh shit.
Dude.
That was a pretty sweet scene. Probably one of the highlights of the movie, actually. Next to the theater scene, you know what I
Maybe.
mean? Maybe I know what you mean.
Yeah.
You know, and even if it isn't the best scene, they certainly treat it like it is. This is long. Oh my god, that was a 3D shot. We just watched Friday the part 3 3D.
It's very Evil Dead. Oh.
Showering with truth. Tell him what did it? Do you not remember how watching this scene for the first time?
I think I'm trying to remember. Yeah.
Well, never even for the first time. I just want to know how the fuck you feel. We got Scream 2. I tell you. All right, you know what? I'll go first. How about that?
I'm just gonna nap. Go for it. It's like half an hour left.
There is some good stuff because of the fact that she does think about unmasking him, and like that part's kind of cool. There's some very just like you want those scenes where audiences are completely torn apart, where like half would be like, why the fuck would you do that, and the other half is like, I want to know right now, that way I can alert the authorities. You know what I mean?
Alert.
Yeah, tell the authorities.
I'm just gonna give you the basics. True. Words.
Oh my god, it's lacked the tension. You cut it with a knife. Let's see if we're gonna cut back.
Did you say the tension? This is my real time, like. processing your joke.
And know that Donovan
go
is
with pigeon.
literally lying down
Nice.
while this is all going on. You're like, what did you say? Hold up. Oh shit.
I don't know. Just in the way you think a general audience would react, I reacted as a kid. What do you want me to say?
I mentioned earlier about remember the scene in the trailer where Mickey is like she got stabbed 7 times and Hallie's just like ouch, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, but then that was never in the movie.
it wasn't.
It was not. God damn it.
What?
I feel like
I could have swore I saw that.
feel like
She
this
got
is
stabbed 7. Ouch.
yeah, you did, but that was in the trailer. I'm saying it was never in the movie, and I brought it up. All right, here we go. See,
Yeah,
real.
I'm literally trying to figure out what I remember about this movie. I'm watching it the first time.
You know, I do remember. Yeah. What? Yes.
I'm sure it worked. I'm sure like everything kind of works, just like the very basics of what a script of a thriller should be. Like I think it worked.
Yeah, yeah.
I was
you
like
know,
what 6? I don't remember.
6. No fucking way, really?
9.
I guess I never thought of it. How old I was? How old was I? I was born in '80.
This was 97, so I think I was 11. Never mind. 6.
So I was 13 at this time.
Uh,
Something like that. Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Again, I said, I didn't know. I didn't know college. I didn't know drinking.
Oh yeah, this thing.
There was a lot of shit.
This threw me off.
As in, like, it's so obvious it's cotton or what?
Maybe. You tell me what. Fuck. Or what?
All right, but we will come to a moment here that I think was totally like, okay, all right, this Debbie Salt isn't just some random person. The fact that she's here right now is like she's gotta like pull out a gun right here, but she doesn't. It actually cuts.
Yeah. Cut.
Wes is like, cut, print, beautiful. All right, so this is turns the sound way loud.
This is a little too on the nose that it's on stage.
Yeah. But I really would have loved this more if it was during a live play or something like that. Like just or like in the theater, have that be the ending. I just think that would have been like this great time to do it. But maybe they're like, well, logistically, I mean, if you knew there was all these killings going on, but Friday the 13th 3D, well, that was one day. That was within a day, and people didn't know that there was killing. The final girl was just because he just happened to not get to her yet.
Yeah. Oh my god, is number 4 on there?
It is.
It is? Wow.
Final chapter. Wink.
Fuck Scream 2.
Fuck Scream. It's shy. Alright, so I remember, remember when I mentioned that Luella kind of really ruined it a little bit, where Matthew Lillard was like, hey, can you buy some beers or whatever? It's like, did you know this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In this, she gave away the ending of, not the ending, but the location. She's like, it's gonna end in a theater, in a play theater.
Huh.
So she ruined it for me in a way. I was like, oh, okay. But I did assume it was going to be during a live performance. And I thought that would have been cooler. But in this one, it really does feel like it's a high school play. We're like, the production of Scream. They redo it on stage. And then what is that shirt? Oh, yeah, that's Derek's shirt, right?
Is it?
Yeah,
His
I think
jacket.
I think originally you were like, that was Sydney's original coat from the first Scream. I think you really did tell me that. I'm like, holy shit, this runs deep.
This runs. Yeah, I thought it was kind of edgy that he gets killed.
Yeah, it really did suck,
Oh shit,
but
we're
it's
right
very
in.
gory.
Wow.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at this moment right here, I was like, I have no idea who it is. And even when he like you saw his eyes, like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
But then I'm like, oh yeah, it's that guy that looked like a killer from Jump Street. Oh yeah, and this is awesome. I kind of forgot about this. I just want to know. I mean, in the original script, Derek was the killer. What was he gonna do? Like, ah, ha, ha. Now untie me. I am the killer. Now untie me. She's like, why would I? You're gonna kill me. Oh, promise.
Oh shit. On top of it.
That was yeah. That's I think that's the only death. That's the only kill from the killers by gun in the whole series. Am I right? Am I right? Is that right?
I guess Dewey kills fucking Roman.
No,
Shooting
no,
him in
no,
the head.
no, no. No, I mean, this is the only time where a killer shoots a victim. I don't
Yeah.
think that ever happens in the entire franchise. That's what made this fucked up. Again, this goes. You gotta go back to the gun violence and with the assault rifle.
So, you know what I'm talking about. You looked at your cigar. Yeah.
I do like the idea that he wants to get caught and he wants to become a star and shit. That's it's pretty well established with like the Cotton character and shit like that. So that's kind of cool.
Right. Pronto.
Did you just say the Christian Coalition will pay for his legal fees? It's fucked up. It's fucked. This is a great line. That was awesome. And she did. She really did.
She's not lying.
Yeah, she ain't lying. That ain't cranberry sauce. Oh man. Now the only thing that really hurts this, like I like you could think like, oh, the visuals of like, oh, the life's a stage, that's fine. But like the stage is like foamy and shit. Like when he got knocked into that pillar, the whole pillar shook. Like I know it's not stone, but like it is obviously a set, so you can't take it too seriously, especially when these bricks start falling later on.
Wow.
And
The
this one
better
is
review.
in reverse of Friday the 13th.
Okay. Yeah.
And honestly, part of me thinks,
Ugh.
isn't this more movie sense to have the mom be a killer because that ties into being other movies, than having Haley be the killer and Derek, you know? This is a repeat of the boyfriend,
Oh, really?
but Haley, or Hallie, whatever, I don't know. Ramen noodles.
Roman?
Roman.
Roman's in the background like, holy shit, this happened on its own. The sequel.
Yeah, the whole time he was like, I always meant to approach Billy and Stu.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
it's like, I didn't know they were going to do a sequel. Okay. It's like a Quentin Tarantino knockoff. Oh my god. It's just like
Shot in the ribs.
liver shot.
So this is the weird part because she's like, she completely dismisses everything Mickey just said.
Yeah.
It's like, it's ridiculous. That idea is fucking crazy. But it is. I guess what I'm getting at is I kind of think that maybe the script being spoiled online was a lie and that they purposefully put out the wrong ending.
Which was?
The wrong ending was
Yeah.
with Derek and Hallie being the killers.
What? That's...
Because this one makes way more sense thematically. Like it actually does. Like as much as I complained how they are barely in the movie and they're not a big presence as Billy and Stu, everything they represent ties in so greatly with the movie.
Stab one.
Yeah, see, she didn't say like, and that was the first time I killed a man, you know.
Great argument.
She's like, I'm beginning to ramble, whatever. You know, like that surely opens up.
Exhibit A. Great argument, man.
Yeah. This is but it's a great. Oh shit! I did like that part, saying like, "Isn't Mickey supposed to be dead?" Like, we already had that moment in our, you know, like, and she fucking used. It's brilliant. It's fucking brilliant. It's very being movie savvy and shit, using a trope to like, shit. Break glass in case.
Yeah, this movie's pretty trippy. This ending.
Very Hitchcock.
Trailer moment.
Yeah, it was. It was. That is crazy. They're like some woman in a business suit. Just overall, Scream 2 has so much more guns than the first one. Really, like how many gunshots are there in the first movie? You know, 4. Ah.
Wow.
I think what should have happened was like she's like, yeah, these are foam, but just an entire giant pile, like like unrealistic, just like a giant pile. Maybe like a Bug's Life. They're like, yeah, one acorn's not gonna kill you, but a whole pile will. Well, didn't like Siskel and Ebert say like they both thought that this was way better than the first one as well? I think so.
Wow. That's so annoying. I'm sure it's getting down to basics. The killer of Randy.
Confirmed for Randy.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Cotton worrisome.
Okay.
The other killer. So this was nice. This was like a match point moment where you're like, well, you really could just like, what if this would be like him just turning bad at the end, just like, all right, I'll join forces with you.
Nice flourish.
Will Ray take Kylo Ren's hand? It's like one of those moments. See, and that's I like the fact that that's brought up. God damn it! I was about to ask you like, and did you think he was gonna shoot her? And then I remember the last time you answered, you're like, I experienced this the way the rest of the audience experienced this.
Yeah. I'm trying, man.
Well, I guess I will point out this weird, like almost unnecessary fake out, where it's like they're both lying there dead for a split second. You're like, come on, why would you do that? But then she coughs. Like, what? She pass out or something? Like, what the fuck was that?
She swallowed the shell.
Yeah, she spits it out. Oh shit.
They don't show you that in movies.
And this is pretty brutal here. Like, oh yeah, I'm jumping past a whole scene with Mickey, but
Gia Weathers, man. She got offed.
iced. Get her story straight. I remember right when she came back, I was like, "There's no way Dewey died." You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, "Well, if they're not gonna kill off her, there's no way they're gonna kill him off." Yeah, well, yeah. To me, I always felt that this reeked of Pulp Fiction inspiration. This whole like two guns, two chicks just shooting the shit out of some dude.
The first grindhouse.
Man,
uh,
it's so brutal. Lee Shriver should have been like, mop, mop. Like he has a finger up to his ear. He's like Archer. Uh, that's pretty fucked up, actually. Like, the last thing we see is Sydney shooting a corpse in the head. you know? Like, she is clearly dead.
but it's over, so it's all good.
Yeah, it's fucking, it's just very graphic. It's very, it might be more grittier than the first one now that I think about it. I don't know. Especially with all the gun use. There's no looking away when it comes to gun use.
You came back, man.
Yeah, it was a great line where he's like, "You're Gail Weathers." You know, it's probably better used on this movie than a movie starring Christian Slater and a resurging John Travolta. Although that does have it, the movie's good because that's John Travolta's first uh, bad guy role, followed quickly by Face Off. No one else. She has a big bandage on her forehead. It's weird. All right. Now remember when I watched this movie, I thought I thought he was gonna say it would make a hell of a sequel. It would be like, yes, print, cut, print, like it's great, you know, because like that would have been super meta. Like that would have been great. But he says one hell of a movie, which is fine. I do remember thinking that. I was like, say it, say it.
There was a lot less brilliance to go to production hell.
That's true. Very true. But I was a lot more refreshed, and that was like early in the morning when we recorded that, wasn't it?
More refreshed.
But yeah, that is the end of it. Let's see if I can watch a little bit more of the credits here. There we go. And the God, just the overall mood on this was a little bit more. I mean, look at this fucking giant shot, broad daylight, uplifting collective soul song, self-affirming. But yeah, yeah, as you said, this was in a way this was a way different commentary than the last one. But it's fine. All right, I'm going to sign off on this. I don't know if I'm going to record for the rest of the night.